I am so happy to see all of you beautiful people here today. Thank you so much for spending your Friday with us. It means the world. We have been doing Inspired Leaders for over 6 years, which is insane to think about. That much time has even gone by. And then, of course, all the things that we've navigated through as an organization to be here today with all of you is just such a blessing. So when we started Inspired Leaders, it all happened right around when Andy and I started our business. And we both came from education. Anybody else a retired teacher or just came from corporate world and now doing something else? Yeah, there's a lot of us, right? We all change. A lot of people change professions. And I'm sure like me, I was terrified, right? I was so scared of what was going to happen. I was comfortable with the paycheck that I knew would come every 2 weeks, but I also knew I wanted more out of my life. And one of the things that I started doing was networking in this community. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we live in the best community to build a business and a life for yourself and your family. Hell yeah, we absolutely do. And it's because the people that are in this community that are all in this room, they all want to help each other. I mean, we want to see each other be successful. If somebody says, I need something, can you help me? Can you introduce me to this person? Do you have any ideas about this? What would you do about that? People are ready and willing to help you. And it is the coolest thing ever. And so I got just completely immersed with this amazing love and support around me from people who didn't even know me when I first started networking. And when I would sit down and meet with them, I had a lot of questions because, again, I wanted to leave this safe teaching job and start a business, and I had no idea what I was doing. I come from an entrepreneurial background, but I still didn't have any idea where to start. And so people would help me and answer questions and, hey, you need to meet this person. You need to ask them questions. And what I ended up finding out is that a lot of people are scared. And not just scared when they take that leap, but they're also scared every day. They also feel some sort of nerve or adrenaline or stress every single day of building their business and doing what they're doing because it's hard and it takes a lot of gumption to get out there and do this. But then what happens is we look around and we see somebody and we go, man, they got it figured out. They know exactly what they're doing. They don't have the same problems that I do. They've never been down in the dumps. They've never been told no. You know, they've never lost everything or had negative dollars in their bank account with bills due. Nothing, right? They've never had any of those issues. That is so not true. It is so not true. And so one of the things that we're here to do is normalize talking about those stories and talking about the things that we have been through so that everybody that attends Inspired Leaders knows that you guys are not alone. We are not alone in this journey of life, in entrepreneurship, in sales, whatever it is that we're doing, we are not alone. And so month after month, we have these brave, bold speakers who stand up on the stage to tell their story to you. But we ask them to come up here and not just like rah, make you, feel inspired and tell you all these amazing things that they've done with their business and their life to get to where they are. We ask them to share their shit with you, to share those dark, low moments that are hard when they're scared, when they don't know if they can keep going, when they weren't really sure what even was happening around them. And so many people have shared all these arrays of beautiful stories and how they've come out of that and the things that they've learned from it. And the thing about all of this is that we know that you don't just go through things once or twice in life. Life is long and meant to be lived, but that also means that there's going to be lots of ups and downs. And so my hope, our hope here at Inspired Leaders is that when you're feeling down, you can turn to the person next to you and find some inspiration. Or you can get on our website or on our YouTube and watch an old speaker and go, man, they went through this and they're still here doing their thing. I can do the same thing. My only hope for you guys is that you just continue to feel encouraged on your journey, no matter how low you get, no matter how scared you are, and no matter how dark the future feels in front of you. You know that you're not alone. You know that you're supported by this community, and that you know that you can just keep going. So that is why we are here month after Inspired Leaders. So thank you very much for being a part of this community and being here with us today. So if you would, silence your phones. We'll only be in here until 1. So if you can just take this time for you and not have to answer any calls or texts, please do that. But if you need to, we understand. You're welcome to go back out into the lobby if you need to talk to anybody or do anything. But if you would mind silencing your phones, that would be amazing.
So you can find all things Inspired Leaders if you scan this QR code. So that QR code will take you to all of our social media. We're on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. It'll also take you to our website. Our website is filled with things, including videos from all of our past speakers, or some of those really, really older speakers. It'll take you to our YouTube. So you can go back at any time and watch these people's talk over and over and over again and get inspired in the days in between Inspired Leaders. If you or somebody that you know is interested in being a speaker, you can start that process on our website and fill out an application. And then we also have sponsors that help us to put on this event every month, provide it to you for free, provide the lunch, provide the location, the video, the photography, and we're able to do that because of our sponsors. So if you want to be a part of that, you can also fill out that information on our website. So all things Inspired Leaders are on that QR code. I would encourage you to follow us, to tag us, to visit our site, and to share it with others so that we can continue to build this community. Please help me welcome Derrell Noris.
That was a lot. Inspired Leaders. So good to be here. I've been wanting to speak in front of you guys for about 3 years now. Thank you, Andy and Elizabeth, for this wonderful group that you put together. I drive about an hour every month to come here. It's one of my favorite networking groups. So, my name is Derrell Noris, and I have not had a bad day in 1,633 days. I know that sounds kind of crazy and impossible, but I'm not saying that I haven't been through things. I've been through horrible things over those 1,633 days, but I never let that horrible thing control my day or control my happiness, control my world. So, how do I have no bad days? It's a mindset. It's if something bad happens, I would have to make sure something else happens that's positive enough to make the overall day a positive day. So this is my beautiful family. A couple of them are here. My dad, say hi, Dad. Sister, second mom. my real mom is in DC right now. She couldn't make it. I know she was dying that she's not here, but my dad and my mom, they're like my inspiration. They actually met at IBM. So I grew up literally surrounded by technology. I was a nerd. I still am a nerd. And it's all their fault. I don't know what happened to my sister Barika, but so like I said, they work for IBM. So I kind of want to be like them. They're my relationship goals. They're my life goals. So of course I wanted to jump into technology like them. So I went to the great Prairie View A&M University. PV. Okay, some of y'all here. I graduated in computer engineering at Prairie View, and then I went to UTSA for grad school, where I landed a job with the largest software consulting firm in the world, Tata Consultancy Services. They have about 600,000 employees, so they're pretty big, and ironically, their biggest competitor was actually IBM. It's full circle. So I graduated, I got the degree, I had the job, then I met the girl. I met the dream girl, and I was just on the top of the world. Got married, and everything was just amazing. I was on the top of a mountain. There's nothing, nobody could tell me. I was like 23, making like $80,000 a year. I was gravy. But have you ever had a dream job that's actually a nightmare? Anybody know what a bell curve is? Imagine a bell curve with about 600,000 employees. And it depends on your performance review. It depends on your salary increasing or decreasing. I was doing a lot of work at TCS. They hired me as a software engineer, but they found out that I can talk to people. I'm really good at speaking to people in the workplace. And so instead of just doing software engineering, they had me doing technical interviews. It was flying me out all across the country doing campus recruiting. I was doing relationship management. And of course, I was doing software engineering still. So why I left corporate America is a question I always get. And I caught wind some kind of way by the grace of God of how much the client was paying in my company for my time. Keep in mind, I'm 23. I'm making $80,000. I'm good. But they was charging for campus recruiting. They were charging for software engineering. They was charging for relationship management, technical interviews. All these buckets they had added up to, it's gonna hurt my heart again just to say it, it was a little less than $500,000 they was paying for my time. I ain't see no $500,000. Y'all seen $500,000? Where's my $500,000? So do you actually know your worth in corporate America? And at that young age, I didn't. There's several resources out there, salary.com, Glassdoor, tools to help you know your worth when it comes to corporate America. And I wish I would have had those tools back then, but luckily I had somebody who showed me that piece of paper. But I was disappointed. I was hurt. I felt disrespected. So I took the leap. Leaping with no hops. By that, I mean jumping into entrepreneurship without knowing a single thing about entrepreneurship. I didn't know anything. All I knew is I know that I can code. So I moved back to Houston. It was actually in San Antonio at the time with my wife. Moved back to Houston. And we started Fresh Tech Solutions. And it was kind of scary. You know, my wife is an educator. And so, you know, us leaving my $80,000 salary and moving to Houston on my little dream, it's a little tougher, a little tough for us. So we get to Houston, company's going fine, got a couple clients. I haven't replaced my salary yet, but I'm working on it. And then we get pregnant. So it's crazy because that's when my why really expanded. At first, I was just doing it for me and my wife. Now it's a whole nother person in the world that, hey, my why is really my why now. So then we had the baby shower. Now we had the gender reveal. And for some reason, I don't know why. I mean, I wanted a boy, but for some reason, all of my friends and family kept telling me that I'm never gonna have a boy. I'm only gonna have girls. And I don't know why they keep telling me that. But they were right. we called her Zoe. And then, then we had the baby shower. So many family and friends. We had lots of diapers. At that point in time, my parents didn't have any grandchildren, so you know how excited they were. So after the baby shower, about 7 months in, my unborn daughter passed away. And it was devastating. It was hurtful. I had never dealt with anything like this. And to this day, it's still a big thing, big part of me. About a year later, the divorce was finalized. It was my why. That was my why. Providing for my family, generational wealth. That's what I was doing it. My why was to provide generational wealth for my family. And now I don't have a wife or a baby. It expanded my why, though. So now what is going to motivate me? My why was to take those pieces and give them away and give them out. My why went from me having generational wealth, or wanting generational wealth, to me wanting everybody having generational wealth. And by that, I mean my clients. I want to help those people. So it was a lonely time at this point in my life, but no bad days. I got a new family. The dream team, the best team in the world. These three people, and Uzo, these three people on the screen, Nick, Doug, and Sydney, they worked for Fresh Tech for a year at minimum without me paying them anything, not a dime. Thank y'all. Y'all saved my life and y'all don't even know it. And they're the best team in the world because I'm telling y'all, they're beastie. When I got this team, before this, I was all by myself. I was solo doing this Fresh Tech thing. I was the only one. I got them, everything started popping. We started closing deals. We started expanding. More people knew about us, more with numbers. And they're good. At this point in time, we closed the biggest deal that Fresh Tech had ever seen. It was a $1.5 million deal with a bank in Ecuador. And we were just on our high horse. We loved it. We even bought an office. It's a nice office. It doesn't even look like it's in Houston, huh? It's right on Woodway and Sage. So we was back on the top of that mountain. And everything was perfect. But we all know nothing is perfect. This app client that we had, this huge deal after we signed that 5-year lease, we lost the client. That was 70% of our business. 70% of our income was gone instantly. We didn't do anything wrong. In software development, we really pride ourselves on the scope of work, on honing down on what the requirements really are. So when we did this project, when we was getting down to those requirements, the problem was that they're in Ecuador, and we didn't speak any Spanish, and they didn't speak any English. And when we put those requirements together, we thought that we were on the same page in the beginning, but we really wasn't. We worked on this project for a whole year. When we got to that year, we realized not on the same page. So we lost that client. Anybody ever seen one of these? Y'all, this is February the 5th, 2024. Anybody ever seen one of these? Default letter on my Jeep. Y'all know I love my Jeep. Notice to vacate, non-payment of rent, personal house. Money was draining. I couldn't pay my family. I couldn't pay my team again. Elizabeth, you told me to share my shit. I'm sharing my shit. So what do you do? You have to lean on God. It's gratitude. You have to understand how much you've been through, how much you've came from. There's some people who doesn't even have an office to get evicted from. I'm super blessed, and I know I'm super blessed, and I know God's not gonna let me down. And I know I'm not gonna have a bad day. So no matter what's going on, I don't mind because I understand it's ups and downs. It's all about ups and downs. How can I not trust my God? So how do you have no bad days? It's a hard thing to do. Starts with a morning routine. I pray every morning. My mornings are exactly the same. They start great. If my day starts great, then I have the leverage for the rest of the day. I have the upper hand. Second thing is, like I said earlier, gratitude. There's a lot of things that we take advantage of. There's a lot of things that we should be thankful for that we're not thanking him for every time. Just little things. And thirdly, find you an emergency happy place. I have a couple of emergency happy places. One of them is my Jeep. I might get on 16 and call the Jeep gang and say, hey, this caravan around 16, I need a break. Or I might call the crew, say, hey, I need some spades. But have an emergency happy place to get away. There's a lot of ups and downs in this world that we live in this life that we live, especially on this entrepreneurship journey. This entrepreneurship journey is filled with ups and downs. And it's probably one of the scariest roller coasters you'll ever see. So just make sure that you're excited on the way up. Enjoy the views at the top because they're beautiful. Put your hands up on the big drops and smile for the camera. I'm Derrell Noris, and I have no bad days. Thank you.